Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is OrnWTF, and in this video I will be seeing if a team of flying types can beat Pokemon Black under Nuzlocke rules. But what is a Hardcore Nuzlocke? Well, a Hardcore Nuzlocke is a set of self-imposed rules for the Pokemon games. These rules are: I can only catch the first eligible encounter on each route. Side note, I will be using the species clause, meaning I can't catch more than one member of a specific evolution line. For example, if I lose a Magikarp in a run, I can't catch another one or just get a Gyarados further on. I must nickname all my Pokemon, further strengthening the bond between them and I. Any Pokemon that faints can't be used in the run again. No items can be used in battle, so things like X-Attack, potions can't be used. I do allow myself to use held items however. I cannot level my Pokemon past the next gym leader's ace Pokemon. If I do, or catch a Pokemon above the level cap, I can't use them till the level cap is higher than their level. Finally, I play on set battle mode. With the Nuzlocke formalities out the way, let's take a second to meet the team. Unova has a total of 8 flying type evolution lines, and with one of them being trapped in Pokemon White, that gives us a final team of 7. Unpheasant, the normal flying type, gives us respectable speed and stab returns. Swoobat is a psychic flying type who is fast, and that's all I can say. Sigilyph is our second psychic flying type who, I'm sorry, I don't even know what this thing is. Emulja, this generation's Pikachu clone with a twist, as it has mediocre stats, kinda speedy, and it's an electric flying type. Hey wait, these aren't that great. Finally, an actually good Pokemon in Archeops, a rock flying Pokemon with truly insane attacking stats. What's that? Its ability's bad? I mean, how bad can it be? Defeatus halves Archeops' attack and special attack when it's below 50 HP. Swanna is a water flying type with pretty mediocre stats across the board. Last but certainly not least is Mandibuzz, a genuinely great Pokemon with good bulk, a really nice typing for the Elite Four, and what? Why is Volibee here? Due to my Nuzlocke restrictions, I am unable to evolve Volibee into Mandibuzz. Now that we've met the team, some of them being a little bit more disappointing than others, we can just advance straight into the run. I pick Snivy, as it seems like it's the toughest starter to have, leaving Sharon with Tepig, which evolves into firefighting Emboar, and Bianca having Oshawott, who evolves into Samurott. After walking into Bianca's house, I witness a little bit too much to process, so after getting our Pokédex and learning what this world is totally not about, I can do some tweaking to the game code to let myself catch our true starter, Sleepy the Pidove. Weird how this generation doesn't let you catch the generic Route 1 bird till after the first gym, but hey, I love this game regardless. I get to witness a Team Plasma rally in Accumula Town, but then I see him. A friend, a foe, a potential love interest? The boy, nay the man, with the green hair who introduces himself as N, not a real name. With only a singular route and 2 more rival fights, we can just skip to the first gym. As I pick Snivy, my battle is against Chili and his Pansear. Chili starts with Lillipup as Sleepy comes out. Lillipup outspeeds and hits us with a bite as we go for Gust. On the following turn, Lillipup goes for a workup, boosting its attack and special attack. We just go for more damage with Gust, putting it into the yellow. Lillipup then goes for a bite, which flinches. I decide to go for a quick attack, hoping for a critical to take the kill, but no luck as Lillipup sits in the red and takes Sleepy down to 13 HP. Chili uses a potion as we hit a high roll quick attack, so in the following turn, another quick attack takes Lillipup out. All that's left is Pansear. That gets hit by our new move Ear Cutter as he goes for a workup. We apparently speed tie, as Pansear just goes for an Incinerate that leaves Sleepy with 5 HP, but after responding with another Ear Cutter, we can take the monkey out with a quick attack and give us our first badge. From here we can finally get our second team member, a Woobat called Dopey, who after some love-filled running and totally not cruel battles against literal infants in the preschool, we can evolve him into Swoobat for our second gym in Nakarine City. Lenora and her Route 1 beasts are next on our list, and boy, this could get ugly. I lead with Sleepy the Pidove as Lenora sends out Herdier, who intimidates our baby bird. I only have one option, and that is to try and get Herdier to -6 with a Growl Rustall. This goes on for a while Sleepy doing the occasional bit of damage with Ear Cutter, so I'll just skip to Herdier actually taking itself out to take down Recoil. Lenora is left with Watchog, who comes out. Sleepy unfortunately can't outspeed, and not wanting to sack one of my 2 Pokemon at this point, I take the risk and switch into Dopey, who gets hit by a hard, super effective Crunch. Here I can only hope for some luck and get some Heart Stamp flinches.
Boom. Hit shot.
Never mind, Dopey will just hit a Psychic Gem boosted critical Heart Stamp. After witnessing Team Plasma go Colonial and steal the Dragonite Skull, we get roped in by Berg, the Bug Gym Leader, to get it back. Anyway, after getting the skull back, we can move into Castelia City, the home of the 3rd gym, but firstly we go speak to this guy, who gives us the held item Eviolite. Eviolite boosts the defense and special defense of any non-fully evolved Pokemon. With nothing else to do in this megalith of a city, we can face Berg, the final roadblock to getting some new teammates. I lead with Sleepy as we just start spamming Ear Cutter on Whirlipede, and after 2 turns it goes down, only doing 9 damage to us in the process. Dwebble is out next and it goes for a smackdown as an Ear Cutter leaves the crustacean just above half health. So I opt to do a little bit of chip with Quick Attack, so after taking a second hit to smackdown we can take the Dwebble out with a final Ear Cutter. This leaves Leavanny, the grass bug type. Fearing an Ear Cutter miss, I decide to switch to Dopey on a resisted Razor Leaf, but Dopey can outspeed and take Leavanny out with an Ear Cutter, giving us the 3rd gym. Thank Arceus, we can finally get some new teammates. XP management was really starting to be a worry. In the Desert Resort we can catch a Sigilyph named Doc, giving us our 2nd Psychic Flying type. Woo! In the Relic Castle we can pick up a Plume Fossil, which we can take back down to Nakarine City Museum, where we can revive him into an Archon who I will truly grow to adore in this run. Our final encounter before Elisa, the Electric type gym leader, is this region's Pikachu clone, the Electric Flying type Emolga, who I name Happy. More importantly though, before our gym battle, we get to have everyone's favourite moment in Gen 5, the Ferris wheel ride with N. And boy, let me tell you, friend or foe, he is not. This is 100% a love interest story. Now unfortunately for N, our love does not carry over to battles, as Bashful completely demolishes his team with a combination of Plucks and Rock Tombs. After defeating N, we get to have an intense moment where they stare into our eyes as we awkwardly don't know what to do with our hands. But our social awkwardness aside, we can move on to the gym battle against Elisa and her electric types. Here we have our first real threat on the gym leader ladder as Elisa, who specialises in electric types. Her Pokemon outspeed most of my team and our 2 Happy clones spam Volt Switch. As the battle starts, it's a Happy standoff. Unfortunately, despite the level advantage, Happy does not outspeed, so gets hit by a Pursuit, as we go for a charge. On the next turn, we go for Spark, which takes out the opposing Emolga in 1 hit. Elisa sends out our 2nd Emolga as I use Charge again, but Emolga does go for Volt Switch, taking us down to 48 HP, sending out Zebstrika. Zebstrika uses Quick Attack, which takes us to 35 HP, and I use Spark. Oops, that's a misplay. Thankfully Zebstrika decides not to use the special attack boost I just gave them and goes for the physical Spark that takes us down to 2 HP. Luckily, Happy's ability Static activates, paralysing the Zebstrika. Now from my experience, Zebstrika should be seeing the kill with all of his moves, so I decide to take a risk and switch into Bashful. But I'm proven right, meaning Bashful can take the kill with a soft sand boosted dig, and with Emolga just going for Pursuit, we can take the kill in the badge with a final Rock Tomb. After running around Driftfield Drawbridge, we can meet our 6th team member, a Ducklet who I call Sneezy. We are unable to take on Clay, the 5th gym leader, till we deal with Team Plasma in the cold storage. So after sliding on some ice, we easily one-shot all of the Team Plasma grunts with Bashful. So after taking care of Team Plasma in the cold storage, we are now able to challenge the ground type gym leader Clay, who sends out Krokorok, as I send out Sneezy
the next morning.
After leaving the Krokorok with -6 attack and leaving him in the yellow with a Water Pulse, we switch Bashful in on a crunch. On the next turn we go for agility as Crocorock uses a swagger, but our held Personberry activates, leaving Bashful with +2 attack and speed, so after taking out the Crocorock with an acrobatics, Palpitoad comes out, but he also falls to an acrobatics from Bashful, leaving the terrifying ace Excadrill. Excadrill is a huge threat to any run if you can't take him out quickly, as he knows Home Claws. But thanks to our agility against Crocorock, we outspeed, and because of the swagger boost, a single super effective dig is enough to give us the win. With the new level cap, we can evolve a couple of our team members, the first being our starter Sleepy, who finally is given respectable stats by evolving into Unpheasant, and he's not the only one, as Sneezy gets to see himself turn into the graceful, elegant swan he always dreamed of being, Swanna. Skyla and her flying types are our 6th gym battle, so it's time to see who is the Queen of the Skies, the master of the airborne domain, the trainer who can take the title of best flying type trainer of the Unova region. Oh no, wait, the battle just finished. Yeah, so Happy was able to sweep Skyla's entire team of Sparks. Bashful finally gets to evolve, just in time for the 7th gym battle, so we now have a team of fully evolved Pokemon. Bryson is the 7th gym leader, with Bashful finally evolving into Archeops. I really like our chances. Bryson starts by sending out Vanillish as I lead with Bashful. We outspeed and go for a super effective Rock Tomb that takes the kill before Bryson could even think to do anything. Up next is Bertic, and we unfortunately don't take the kill with our weak Rock Tomb, so I decide to switch to Sneezy to set up our tried and true Feather Dance Roost stall, as Bertic goes for Swagger. Meaning, had I just stayed in with Bashful holding a Personberry, this battle would all be over. After successfully dropping Bertic's attack to -6, I switch back into Bashful, who gets hit by a Swagger. So not wanting to hit myself with a hard confusion, I switch back into Sneezy and stay in a turn, so Bashful can avoid switching into a Swagger, as Bertic goes for an Icicle Crash, which misses, so Bashful takes him out with another Rock Tomb. Last and certainly least is Cryogonal, who thanks to their 50 base defense stat, a Rock Tomb from Bashful does more than enough damage to give us the 7th gym badge with ease. As we climb the stairs to the top of Dragon Spiral Tower, we witness an incredible cutscene considering what we had on the Pokemon games before this. N takes control of Zekrom, fulfilling the destiny he was so afraid of all the way back on that Ferris wheel. Our bond being so strong, I know it's down to me to save him from the path that they are on. So after standing strong with the rest of the C players in this story, I am given the Light Stone. Not that any of us know what to do with it, but I guess we'll just figure it out later. Before the final gym, we can get our final team member Grumpy the Vullaby. As I said in the intro, Grumpy evolves past the final level cap, so I am unable to evolve her. Last but not least is Drayden, the Dragon type gym leader. Unfortunately, we have no way of hitting Drayden for super effective damage, meaning that this could get a little bit ugly. Drayden sends out Haxor as I send out Sleepy. With a normal gem boosted return, Sleepy can take the Haxor out in one hit, so Drayden sends out Druddigon. I decide to go for a Growl for some reason, as Druddigon uses Chip Away. I switch Sneezy in on a Night Slash that does 24 damage. On the next turn, I go for a Feather Dance as Druddigon uses Chip Away. I use Feather Dance again as Druddigon goes for a Night Slash. Now that the blocky dragon is sitting at -5, I use an Air Slash which does about 33%. I go for a second Air Slash which does prove to be a free hit kill, but Sneezy gets hit by Dragon Tail, so he gets forced out as Dopey is thrown in. I decide to switch out and bring Bashful in on a weak Revenge, so Bashful can take the kill with a Rock Slide, leaving just Haxorus. Probably the strongest Pokemon ever put in a gym battle. Not that it matters, because a Flying Gem boosted Acrobatics is more than enough to take the kill and give us the final badge of the run. Elite 4 time baby, here is the team with a first appearance from Grumpy with a held Eviolite. I decide to leave Dopey on the bench as his stats are just really lackluster for this point in the game. Marshall is first, and it's no surprise that our team of flying types easily sweep through his team. Sock does take 2 hits and threatens with Stone Edge. Sock does take 2 hits and threatens with Stone Edge, so I use a U-turn to break the sturdy as Sneezy comes in on a Karate Chop. Unfortunately, Sock actually outspeeds our Majestic Swan, so we do get hit by a full powered Stone Edge that cuts it way too close. Barely Alive is still alive in my book, so our Feather Dance goes through, making it mostly safe to bring Bashful back in on a stone edge. So Acrobatics takes out the literal blue man in a karate costume, and Marshall's remaining Concoder and Mindshoe.
That's why he's the GOAT!
Chantal and our ghost types are second, and she leads with her Cough Egregious as we lead Happy. We go for a Vault Switch, bringing in Bashful on a Shadow Ball that leaves us just above 50%, meaning our Black Glasses boosted Crunch takes the kill, and does the same on Jellicent that comes out next. Unfortunately, Jellicent's Cursed Body activates, meaning on the Chandelure we have to go with this 95% accurate Rock Slide, which luckily hits. Last is Golark, and we U-turn for some chip and give Grumpy her first appearance. She goes for a flatter on the physical attacking Ghost Golem, and it proves to be completely useless as Golark breaks through every time as we set up nasty plots. Thankfully we aren't punished enough and take our second Elite Four member down with a Dark Pulse. Grimsley, the Dark type trainer, is third and he sends out Scrafty. I lead with Sleepy, who uses a fly that takes the Dark fighting type out. Grimsley sends out Crocodile as we get intimidated. After going for a return for some chip, we switch into Grumpy to proc a safe-ish switch into Bashful, and proven right as we get hit with a Dragon Claw. A follow-up U-turn takes the kill and brings in Happy as Grimsley sends out Liepard. We get hit with a Fake Out. On the following turn we go for Encore, locking the Liepard into Fake Out. We hit a surprisingly hard Vault Switch as Bashful comes in as Grimsley uses a Full Restore. Bashful hits a Rock Slide, putting our foe back in the red, so Grimsley uses their last Full Restore as we hit a Crunch. But on the following turn a Rock Slide is more than enough to take Liepard out, leaving just Bisharp left. With a Dig we can avoid Bisharp's Metal Claw and take him out in one clean shot. Caitlin, the Psychic Elite Four member, sends out Reuniclus. I send out Bashful, who can take the Giant Cell out with a Crunch. Sigilyph comes out next, but they also go down to a single Crunch. Caitlin sends out Gothitelle, who unfortunately survives a Crunch from Bashful, so we go for a U-turn, taking the Goth Girl into the yellow. I bring out Happy on Thunderbolt that did way too much damage. A Vault Switch leaves Gothitelle in the red, so as Bashful comes back out, he gets hit by a Psychic, which keeps us above 50 HP. Caitlin uses a Full Restore as we once again miss the kill with a Crunch. Caitlin uses a Full Restore, but our Crunch manages to take the kill on the following turn with a critical hit.
Boom. Headshot.
This leaves Musharna, who could take us out at our HP, so Bashful goes for a U-turn again, putting Musharna into the yellow. I decide to give Doc their first appearance in this Elite Four, who can take the kill with a Shadow Ball. Here we are, the final battles of the run, and the first battle we face is N. The man we met all the way back in Accumula Town. The man we shared our first Ferris wheel ride with. Here we both stand, changed from when our stories began, but like our past meetings, our love ends at the start of the battle. And so, I send out Sleepy, our starter, as N sends out their Zekrom, the electric dragon type legendary. Sleepy uses Feather Dance as Zekrom hits a Fusion Volt, leaving us with 39 HP. But from here, as long as we don't get crit, we can stall Zekrom out of its 5 Fusion Volt PP, and reducing its attack to -6 in the process.
75 years later.
After successfully stalling out the 5 Fusion Volt PPs, we can set up 6 workups. From here we can use 2 flies to take out Zekrom, as N sends out Vanillix, but he also gets outsped and one shot with a fly. 2 down, 4 to go. Up next is Caracosta, the water rock type. Sleepy uses a Feather Dance as Caracosta hits a hard stone edge, leaving us with 38 HP. On the following turn we use a Roost, bringing Sleepy back to 113 as Caracosta misses a stone edge. Sleepy uses Fly, so we waste another stone edge PP. As we get hit by stone edge number 4, Sleepy just survives with 23 HP. Roost brings us back to 98 HP as Caracosta hits its final stone edge, putting us to 50 HP. From here we can skip to Caracosta going down to another Fly, as N sends out Archeops next, but it also goes down to a single fly from our starter Sleepy. 2 Pokemon left with Klinklang coming out as we use again Fly. Unfortunately it leaves Klinklang with 1 HP, getting hit by a Metal Burst in the process. This means any of Kling Klang's moves can now take us out. From here I'm forced to switch into Bashful as N uses a full restore. I go for Dig, which once again leaves the sentient gears with 1 HP, as it drops us down to 51 HP with a flash cannon. This does unfortunately mean that Bashful's attack is now halved thanks to our ability, although one last dig is able to take the kill. That leaves N's beloved Zerork, and with Bashful attack halved, we U-turn into Sleepy, as Zerork misses a focus blast, so on the penultimate turn of the fight, we can fly up, and on the final turn take the kill. But even though we have defeated N, the story doesn't end here. We have one more fight against Getsis. We don't get to change our team order, so Sleepy leads us into battle. Getsis sends out Koffagrigus. I switch into Grumpy, who gets hit by a Toxic. Now we can talk about the battle AI here. Koffagrigus will pretty much always go for Toxic if you aren't poisoned, so by switching between Grumpy, who Koffagrigus will only go for Shadow Ball, and Sleepy, who is immune, we can safely stall out Koffagrigus of Toxic and set up 4 workups with Sleepy. After avoiding Psychic Special Defense drops and replenishing our HP with Roost, we can take Koffagrigus out with a Fly, and from here Sleepy can outspeed and one-shot the rest of Gexis's team, except Bisharp, who comes out next. Sleepy uses Feather Dance as Bisharp misses a Stone Edge. We go for a Roost, bringing Sleepy back to full health, but Bisharp hits us with a Stone Edge. I go for a second Feather Dance, but Bishop hits us with a critical hit Night Slash, taking our starter out. I send out Bashful and go for a Dig, which leaves Bisharp with 1 HP and passes us Koffagrigus' ability Mummy, so at least now we don't need to deal with Defeatus as long as Bashful stays on the field. Bisharp hits us with a Stone Edge that takes us to 131 HP. Gexis uses a full restore as we use Dig. In hindsight, I should have went for literally any other move, because now on the following turn, Bishop survives in the red again. Rock Slide does finally take the kill as Seismitoad comes in. I opt to go for a U-turn, which does about 40% as I bring in Happy, as Seismitoad hits us with a Muddy Water, leaving us with 71 HP after our Citrus Berry. Happy uses a Light Screen as we get hit by another Muddy Water, putting us down to 32 HP. Happy hits an Acrobatics, and Seismitoad actually misses a Muddy Water, so on the next turn, Happy can take the Toad out with another Acrobatics. Getsis sends out Buffalon. I decide to go for a Flash, hoping to extend Happy's life a little longer, but Buffalon hits a huge Wild Charge but takes Happy down. As she goes down, she leaves Buffalon with a Paralysis. Sneezy comes out and uses Feather Dance as we get lucky with a Paralysis. So on the next turn, Sneezy uses another Feather Dance as Wild Charge still leaves us well into the yellow. Our Citrus Berry does activate, so we are back up to just over half health. I decide to go for Feather Dance again. Buffalon uses another Wild Charge, but we survive. With nothing better to do, we go for a Roost. Buffalon hits another Wild Charge, leaving us with 83 HP. Sneezy uses Roost again as Buffalon is paralysed. After all the recoil damage that Buffalon has done to itself, I go for a Surf, which is looking just short of a 2-shot. Sneezy uses Surf again. 2 Pokemon left. Can we actually do this? Electros is sent out. Sneezy uses the Feather Dance as we go down to a Wild Charge. Electros takes a huge amount of recoil as our very weak Grumpy comes out. Grumpy survives a Wild Charge and uses a Flatter on the physical attacking Electros. Grumpy sadly goes down to poison damage, so now we only have 2 Pokemon left. A weakened Bashful and Dopey, who is yet to make an appearance in these 2 fights, who I actually didn't even bother mentioning because I didn't think they would have that much impact. I send out Bashful, who can outspeed and hit a Defeatus Rock Slide, which flinches, so on the next turn a second Rock Slide hits, which isn't enough to kill, but flinches again, so a Dragon Claw on the next turn takes it out, leaving Hydreigon left. Bashful outspeeds and hits a Dragon Claw, leaving Hydreigon still in the green as it takes Bashful out with a Surf. And so here we are, 1v1, a pseudo legendary versus Dopey. I use a substitute hoping for a miss that doesn't come as Hydreigon hits a Dragon Pulse which breaks our sub instantly. Dopey goes for a cam mine, still hoping for a miss. That once again doesn't come as we get hit by a fire blast, which burns. Our citrus berry does bring us to 46 after chip damage. With no other choice, I let Arceus take the wheel, as Dopey hits an air slash, which flinches, and as we survive the burn chip, one final air slash takes the kill and means we have defeated Getsus, meaning yes, you can beat Pokemon Black with a team of flying types only. I did not expect that Getsus fight to end in the way it did. Of all the Pokemon to take the win, especially against the pseudo-legendary Hydreigon, it being Dopey just felt right. This was a lot of fun, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I plan on making a lot more Nuzlocke videos for you guys. Let me know what you would do differently in that Getsus fight. I know I didn't play optimally, especially after losing Sleepy, but hey, a win's a win. My name has been Orn WTF, and this has been Pokemon Black. Goodbye!